Hello and welcome to The Cat and the Parrot. So returning to school, one of the big things is mask wearing, and I'm slightly concerned about how that might have some issues, not necessarily also from a safeguarding point of view, although we can come on to that, but maybe more interaction and some pupils with well-being and how they might not be able to read other people's faces. So they might not see when they're low, they might not be able to get the joke, there might be some more bullying issues, there might be some friendship issues. What's your thoughts on masks and some...
Okay, so should we do some role play? So I'm here now, and for my eyes, if I'm sad, can you see that I'm sad? You know, can you see that I'm surprised? So potentially you really can't, can you?
No, I could just about tell you a surprise, just about tell you a surprise. Yeah.
Okay. Right, so absolutely. For children with additional needs, clearly lip reading, okay, we know that, but also social cues, you know, social cues of the whole kind of expression from even your mouth. We use our mouth quite a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
In a sense of what's happening next, or, you know, and I suppose absolutely the whole thing of, you know, if you're in a school with lots of additional needs, you've got to think about some staff having, I know they've got the clear, you know, like the shield. So some schools have got the plastic see-through rather than the mask. But I think we're talking more about the children.
But we're not allowed to have
what, the masks.
No. If we have the mask, we have to have another mask underneath now. That was in the guidance that the government came out with.
So if you've got a plastic shield window thing, you have to have a mask underneath it. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, you've got to think of absolutely, maybe I knew there was a company who was doing the
clear
mask,
ones,
but with the clear ones, because I think that you definitely will need that. And also for the children, being mindful of the children in the sense of how are they going to express themselves as well. So I think you'll have to be more clued up in and reading children, their behaviour, their body language, you know.
I am really worried that it's going to mean that referrals, us spotting when they're having a bad day or when they're really, really bad day, that's going to be so much harder for staff. You know, they normally send me a little email saying, not sure what's going on, but they weren't their normal self. That is going to be so hard for
that's
staff.
going to be more. That's going to be more. And I think their attitude in the sense of their motivations, you know, their mood, their interaction. So, you know, it's one where are they completely non-expressive in a sense, you know, and picking up on that. So I think it's really reminding staff in the staff briefings to be tuned in and almost spending more time in your observation. So, you know, the classic early years child observations you did where you just went by literally studying and looking at a child to see how they were communicating to you non-verbally. We have to go back to that, I think, because that will help us in whether it's turned away from someone, you know, the whole thing of their social, like friendship groups, you know, picking up on how that's going on, to eye contact, all that stuff.
So I mean, so what body language would you be looking out for? So you've got turned away, you've got maybe slumped, and maybe
then you've got
no eye contact,
the pinching, the scratching, the tense armed, you know. So looking at the whole thing about, are they nervous, have they got something going on, are they shaking their foot, you know, like the nervous thing. So the whole thing about well-being, anxiety and all the other things, are they kind of getting kind of short-tempered quicker? Do you understand? Are they getting agitated, fidgety? To the child who's not normally fidgety.
It's the normally bit, isn't it? So we're going to
yes.
We got to look at what was normal before we judge what's not normal. And
so the child you knew before. Sorry.
Mask fatigue is going to be a thing as well. I can imagine some students finding wearing the mask almost all the time, from perhaps when they've only worn it once or twice. They're going to find that quite hard. Of not some of them will feel suffocated. Some of them won't be bothered about it. We've given top tips of saying, make sure you bring a spare mask. So at lunchtime, you can swap over to a fresh mask. We've said, drink lots of water, because we're really worried that they're not going to be drinking as much because of their mask.
Yes, true.
And then we've suggested mints and things like that, especially if they had cheese and onion crisps. That can't be good.
Good point.
But we need to look at what their normal body language was before we can say, and I'm worried that perhaps I have relied too much on facial cues and them actually physically telling me. So it's gonna have to be a big.
Do you know, also colouring though? So for you know, for kind of Caucasian children, the sense of when you know, the pink neck,
Yeah.
the pink blotchy skin,
Yeah.
to maybe a darker child in the sense of, you know, black minority ethnic Asian child who again might have similar kind of patches on their face that are kind of suggesting that they're agitated, you know, like the little blotches. So my daughter gets kind of pink ears when she gets agitated, like, you know, she's like, oh yeah. So it's looking at the, you know, other signs of their body to tell you that potentially they are, there's a body sign that's showing that something's happening. Are they internalizing it, or are they just kind of, you know, not coping? So I think it's definitely been much more.
This could be good CBT
much more tuned
for us.
in.
Yeah. Interesting. Thank you very much. It's good to think about that.
No problem. Yeah, thank you.
Bye.